The theme is living in the forever. That's the theme today. Yeah, a lot of deaths. I had to bury Miguel Angel Chavez yesterday, who worked in our bakery. I have to bury a kid today, whose mother, I had to bury his brother 11 years ago, and now he's been killed. So, and then I have another one probably early next week. So, I gave a talk yesterday, and somebody was saying, well, you know, how do you do it? And we've talked about this theme before. There's an Italian saying, may death find you fully alive. And I think that's how we have to live. So how do we foster an undaunted appetite for liveliness? How do we let everything in? Not just joy, but dismay and fear. Don't smoke spice, and don't smoke you know, chronic, or drink a 40 to numb what's coming your way. How do you foster an appetite for liveliness? So how do you take it all in? So today, I suppose, I have to leave right now pretty much to go to this funeral. I'll probably talk a little bit about eternal life. You do at funerals. But eternal life is not about living forever. It's about living in the forever. There's a difference. Right here and now, living in the forever. So we don't anticipate what's around the corner. Eternal life is not around the corner. It is the corner. It is the corner. It is right now. So I'm somebody who always lives in images and snapshots, and kind of, you always want to be there when it happens, and you want to be attentive to what Father Mark always calls those life's great moments. That's what it means to live in the forever. You know, they kind of don't make sense to anybody other than me, I think, sometimes, you know, because there are things where I observe them, and they're just so delightful or fun or interesting or heartbreaking that you want to let them all in. Like, I had a homie ask me the other day, can you send me someplace where they hire you on the spot? And I said, sure, let me just MapQuest Mars for you, you know. Or I was in Sears not long ago, and all of a sudden I hear, G-Dog! And I turned, and there's this guy, a homie, wearing a Sears shirt, and he's pushing this huge rack with the largest brassieres you've ever seen. And he greets me and hugs me, and I said, wow, you work here? He said, yeah, thanks to you guys. And we're talking a little bit, and finally there was a lull in the conversation. I sort of observed this pretty impressive rack. And he says, can you believe it? They got me on bras. And I just died. It's living in the forever. It's about observing stuff that's happening and delighting in it and just treasuring it, and stuff that happens all the time. Sometimes it's hard to explain what that means. You can also identify what's the opposite. Sometimes when we think, well, I'm worthless, I don't have any value, well, that's the opposite of living in the forever. I remember I went to visit a homie who was shot at White Memorial Hospital, and the bullet had just missed his heart and lodged in his lung. And so I was telling him how lucky he was. He says, yeah, God gave me a second chance. Then he looks at me and he says, who are you visiting? I said, who am I visiting? Yeah, who else is in the hospital? And nobody else. I'm visiting you. He said, Serio? I said, yeah. You want to live in that place where you have fostered this appetite for liveliness, where you let everything in. And what you keep out is any sense that you're worthless, or that you have no value, that you can't believe that somebody would actually visit you. You may live where you live, but as the poet says, your address is somewhere else. And that's what you really want to cling to. So may death find you fully alive. And may it find you living in forever today.